We can't help but pay attention to the moments of far-fetched happenstance that defy all probability. We live in a universe that, despite all reasonable expectations and explanations, remains almost entirely unpredictable. And whether we're more comforted by believing that things happen for a reason, or more comforted by believing that things happen by chance, we are all at the mercy of the outcome. And we are, all of us, human beings who cannot help but try to make sense of it. Chance happenings are merely a matter of numerical odds. And despite my firm belief that this is all just numbers, that the fates have no hand, it doesn't make the things that happen to me mean any less in the mythology of my life. The good and the bad, the transformative, the triumphant, and the tragic. In 1931, mathematician Emile Borel raised the issue of whether a number of random events could amount to something meaningful. That question eventually evolved into the infinite monkey theorem. Could a monkey, randomly hitting the keys of a keyboard, type out a Shakespearean sonnet? The short answer is that given enough time, enough monkeys and enough keyboards, theoretically, yes. A number of random events could amount to something meaningful. Are the events of my life a series of infinite multiple choice occurrences, many of which I have little to no control over? Yes. Does the knowledge that a substantial amount of pure chance governs both the sweetest and the most painful moments of my life make those moments any less meaningful? No. Does it make those moments mean any more? We are the most advanced species on a small bluey-green planet orbiting a seemingly insignificant star in one of the 100 billion galaxies in the universe. Chance happenings are merely a matter of numerical odds. And for the numbers that transform into something meaningful, I am grateful. You have a 20% chance of randomly picking your favourite coloured Skittle out of the bag first time. The birthday paradox says that you only need to take a random sample of 23 people to have a 50% chance of 2 with the same birthday. 1 in 250 natural pregnancies will result in twins. Someone falls on the stairs every 90 seconds. A new study has found that chances of finding love in the UK on any given day is just 1 in 562 if you leave it entirely to fate. In the UK, your chances of winning the jackpot on the lottery are 1 in 45 million. In research that came as a surprise to absolutely nobody, a major study by the London School of Economics found that love has a greater impact on contentment than getting a pay rise. In fact, an increase in salary was found to be one of the least effective ways to promote well-being. You are more than 80,000 times more likely to fall in love than to win the lottery. The average person will spend an estimated 20,160 minutes kissing in their lifetime. All Skittles taste the same. A study published in the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships calculated that, on average, it takes about 50 hours of time with someone before you consider them a casual friend, 90 hours before you become real friends, and about 200 hours to become close friends. A study that involved more than 308,000 participants over 7.5 years found that the effect of friendship on lifespan is twice as strong as that of exercising and equivalent to that of quitting smoking. The success rate for quitting smoking increases with each quit attempt. 2 million people use the London Underground every day. If you live and work in London and you spend just 2 hours inside any of the busy stations, you will have over a 30% chance of running into someone you know. And then we decide how fated that feels. How I caught an earlier bus this morning. How I walked down to the end of the platform on account of the crowd. How the woman opposite me is reading a book you lent me when we first met. How a person trips on the stairs and I stop to help while the rat race continues. How the person that fell is wearing your perfume. How I usually take the exit to the left, but today I was drawn by the smell of freshly ground coffee. How I ask for a flat white rather than a latte simply by merit of it reminding me of you. How I don't often stop at this particular shop, but I'm craving some Skittles. How the busker was playing our favourite song, which I haven't heard since I saw you last, and how the advert on the wall outside the station looks inexplicably similar to the last person who broke my heart. How I stopped to phone my mum to tell her about the pay rise I really should be happier about. How I pause here a moment longer to light a cigarette, even though this time I really thought I'd quit. And how we had tickets to a concert tonight that we booked a year in advance, but it was cancelled because of a global pandemic, which conveniently eclipses the fact that we, now, wouldn't be going together anyway. And yet, here you are, standing outside Liverpool Street Station, wearing a coat that you wore when I first met you, holding an umbrella that we stole here by accident 5 years ago to the month, from a woman who we assume now reluctantly owns our old umbrella, holding an umbrella that holds a mythology of its own. And it seems impossible, but it's only improbable. And it feels hard to ignore. You feel hard to ignore, even though once you too were a stranger. Or how I walk the other way and I don't see you. Or more importantly, I don't know that I don't see you. And how improbable it is that our paths would cross so close without either of us knowing. 2 million people use the London Underground every day. You have over a 30% chance of running into someone you know. You are more than 80,000 times more likely to fall in love than to win the lottery. All Skittles taste the same. Chance happenings are merely a matter of numerical odds. None of it makes sense until you're looking backwards anyway, and then all of the dots seem to connect somehow, as though it were all part of the plan.
Hello. I know it's been a long time. I was phoning because I said I would a while ago and I didn't. But I wanted to say thank you. I cannot begin to tell you how grateful I am. I hope that we can still be friends one day. That still feels impossible right now. But it felt impossible to have met you. And then it felt impossible when we stopped speaking. And so who am I to say what's possible?